right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful week. Let's get it kicked off. Gonna put the tweets out here, make sure everybody gets in. Should we let everybody know we are live? And then we can get started. Let's get going here. All right. Switch these two. Perfect. All right. Tommy, good morning. Nancy, good morning. Dan, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Rayhan, good morning. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. Let's get it kicked off. All right. It's 8:30. Let's see if we get these jobless numbers popping up here. Right. So, looks like the number came in at 202 versus the 197. Continuous claims 1.3 is 1.35. All right. We'll see how the market reacts to that. But while we wait everyone to get in here, we're going to wait till 8:35. That way everybody has a chance to kind of tune in, give people some time to kind of get in here, say our good mornings, get ready for the day, and then we'll talk about the market, how it's doing, how it's been doing, what we're looking at for the free trades today. And at the end, obviously, if you guys got questions, let me know if you're looking at day trade, swing trade, and if you're looking for calls or puts. All right. Legit Movers Chicago, what's going on? Eric, good morning, man. Yo, yo, yo. All your base, good morning. Philip, good morning. Hardik, PayPal holding 111 pretty good. What do you think? I mean, we'll take questions on tickers at the end of the day, but holding 118, I don't know. I have to pull up the charts to give you more information about it, but I'll look at it at near the end of the stream here. Foolish Snowboarder, what's going on, my man? AA, good morning. Den, best group ever. Thank you. You the man, bro. I appreciate it. Edgar, good morning. Mikhail, good afternoon. Valiant, good morning. All right. 8:32. We're gonna wait about it's almost 8:33 now. We'll wait 2 more minutes. Let everyone kind of tune in here, and once they do, we'll get it going. Brent, good morning. Those of you early birds, go ahead and smash that like button while we're waiting to get the stream going here. YouTube likes it when you guys hit the like button for whatever reason. So let's go ahead and smash that like button while we wait for 8:35 to come. Then we can kind of get started. Akash, good morning. Duke, good morning. What's going on? What's going on? Pot at 50 HP. Good morning, Jason here. Wow, I am not surprised by your YouTube username either. Godson, top of the morning. Mel's, good morning. How you doing? All right. Almost 8:34 a.m. here. We're gonna wait till 8:35. Let everybody tune in. If you guys are here, go ahead and smash that like button, like I said. Quinn, how you doing? Good morning. Vic, finally it's Thursday again. I know. Legit Movers, I don't know why I don't have one on my phone. Mo, good morning, everyone. Diana, good morning from Colombia. Yes. Oh, like button. Interesting. You probably have to expand the description, and then it might pop up. Chris, good morning. Nice. Everybody here saying good morning. Somebody in the last stream said I missed some good morning, so I'm making sure I say good morning to everybody today. I don't want to miss good mornings. It's the first thing we say to each other, you know? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, all right, all right. 8:34. It's actually almost 8:35 here. Rebecca, TGITH. Thank God it is Thursday. Yes. All right, guys, it's 8:35. Let's get started here. Don't want to waste any time. Before I get started, go ahead and smash that like button. Sky, good morning. Let's take a look at the SPY here and what's been really going on, man. So, nice sell-off. We hit those levels here at this 414. If you guys have been kind of been here long enough and been following the newsletter, pretty much we discussed everything, the way down, the way up. And the key things that we were kind of paying attention to was, this little micro double bottom we put in, we pushed up above that. We have a bigger picture double bottom, we kind of pushed above that as well. 200 moving average was an area we were paying attention to, and this pivot to the left of it, this 447, again, buyers stepped up. Buyers continuously stepping up at every resistance point I have drawn. The next big one here was this 458, pushed above it. Nice candle on, I guess this would have been Tuesday, and yesterday we closed above that level. All right, so on the overall look here, we are a little bit extended to the upside. We've gone from 416 to 458, 462 level. So the healthy thing here would be some sort of a pullback, maybe to the 450s, consolidation before another leg up. But if it doesn't come, great, we have levels, and our level right now is this 458. We can see that on the chart, we have this pretty much this area where the next resistance point is all the way up here. So essentially, a little bit of a pocket that we're kind of into. But because of this price action, there's probably going to be some resistance right at the midpoint of this volume, this huge transactional days that took place. There's going to be some resistance there at the 466 as well. All right, so overall, we've made pretty good progress. We're coming up to these resistance points. We just have to see what's going to happen in the few days. Are we going to consolidate, pull back before making the next leg up? All right, and that's kind of what we're looking at here. Now, if we look at today's price action, we're going to go into the 15-minute time frame. And what are the levels that I'm kind of paying attention to today? And the levels that I'm working on have to be this 459.50 level. Let me put my levels back up so we can see. All right, so this 459.50 is a level that we have right here, and I'm going to put it in for you guys so you guys can see it visually. It lines up perfectly with this resistance point, comes back, holds support pretty much all pre-market yesterday, and now we're coming back and kind of under that level. So that's the level I'm going to be paying attention to if we're looking to trade to the upside, or if we're looking for more continuation on the SPY. If we can reclaim this 459 level, then we're looking for a push towards the 460.30, 462, and ultimately this 464.50 level. However, we have to clear Tuesday's high in order to try to push to these 464, 465 levels. Okay. Now, if we can't reclaim this 459.50 on the SPY, we're gonna roll over. Look, we popped up here. We're setting some selling pressure here again. We're gonna roll over, and this 458.50 level is going to be something we're going to have to pay attention to. And if we lose that, we could look to retest these levels from yesterday as well as Tuesday levels, right? These levels held up pretty good at the 457.30 level. Lose that, you're going to come back down to this 456, which is a level that was respected previously as well. All right, so looking at a few things here, got to pay attention to these levels. If we start seeing more selling pressure at this area, you can see this move up from here straight up to here was a straight move up, which tells us right here from here can be a straight move down. So this level is going to be vital. This 456.12, if we sell off and fail to hold that, that's going to be a problem area. We're going to need to stay above this, or because there's pretty much a small pocket here, we could see that flush down to the downside. All right, so those are the things that I'm keeping an eye on today. Really need to focus on this 459.50. What are we going to do? Are we going to pop back, reclaim it, and kind of look to go higher? Or are we going to reject and kind of roll back and come down? All right, so take a screenshot of this if you guys want. Your levels are all right here. You can take a look at them. And I have them all the way down to the 448 and as high as 466 currently. So if you guys want, take a look at the levels, take a screenshot, that way you can use it. All right, next one here, I'm going to jump into the Qs, then we can talk about what the Qs are doing and go from there. Here we go. Let me clean up this chart. Perfect. So what's going on with the Qs here? So it's a very similar look in regards to the SPY and what the SPY's price action was. However, early on in the year, we saw more weakness in tech, and that's why we're currently under the 200 moving average. So we came up, we hit this 200 moving average, and we're seeing that selling pressure in tech names. I think tech names were one of the ones that were actually pretty red yesterday in the sectors. And they're coming up here into this 200 resistance, and they're seeing some selling pressure. We have resistance right here as well. We have some resistance or support now right here. So it's kind of pinched at this level. We need to see what we're going to do. When the SPY came up to the 200, we had a pullback, and then the next day we continued to push. Are we going to do the same thing in tech? We're going to have to kind of pay attention to that and look at our levels in order to do so. But again, the move from 317 all the way up to this 366 is a big move. It's a strong move, and it's a very big move with no really pullbacks, and we need some sort of a consolidation to kind of take place here. All right, so let's take a look at the closer time frame on the Qs. Let's put our levels up and see what are we kind of paying attention to here default. All right, so the level to watch is that 468.84. All right, so I'm gonna pull up my marker again here. So why that level again? Simply because we respected it here, we have some respect of that level again here. So this 368.84 is going to be that same level that we had on the SPY. And what was it on the SPY? The SPY was the 459.50. So this level is our 459.50 on the SPY, right? If we can claim above this level and hold, great. We can look to at least retest yesterday's levels of that 371.97. and then pop back to 373, 374, okay? However, it all starts with this push to the 368.84. This level needs to get back. We need to get back above this level, hold in order to try to push these levels and continue higher, all right? Now, if we fail to do that and roll over, obviously, then you're looking at this 368, 367. You're looking at yesterday's low at 365. That's going to be something to pay attention to. And then right after these 365 levels, we have a similar story where we've gone from right here all the way down from here, right? So we made a straight move up, which means if we lose this key level here, we could see that essential flush come back down to the 363 level, all right? So got to pay attention to this 368. Upside, we're going to move up. If we maintain above it, reject and roll over, we could see a pull down to the 365, which will be the vital area, and then 363 to the downside. All right, so that's in regards to the Qs. All right, now let me jump on Twitter really quickly. We're going to go over some of the free alerts. After this, I will get into some of the questions that you guys may have in regards to some of the tickers you're watching, but please don't just say, what are your thoughts? I want you to tell me what you want to do. Are you looking to swing trade it, day trade it, calls or puts? That way I can give you a more detailed, opinion of what I think is going to happen, okay? So the first one on the list here, we have Uber. So let's take a look. So Uber is an inside day. That's why I have it on the watch list here. And I'm kind of paying attention to it. If this gets back above that 37.10 level, which is essentially yesterday's high, which is the initial trigger point on an inside day. If we get above that 37.10 area, great. We should see a push to 37.50, and then it really kind of opens up there. So looking at the 37.10 level on the upside, and if we get under that 36.60, which is this pre-market support area, that's where I kind of want to get involved. I don't want to take the low of yesterday. I kind of want to get involved a little earlier, where these moves kind of do roll over if they fail to hold their pre-market levels. Then once this trigger happens, we're already in and we're well ahead of the game. All right, so that is that. We're looking at that 310 level for the upside and 360.60 on the downside if that triggers. Next one is Starbucks. So Starbucks, I'm keeping an eye on the 91.75 level. All right, 91.75. Put it right here. Perfect. So essentially just need that push to the 91.75. Then we kind of get involved with this level of yesterday. We can push above that and kind of continue higher. If we get under the 90.75 level, which is this essentially low or this pivot low from yesterday, then we can look to roll over to the downside and then come down towards the 89.80 and ultimately that 88.90 level. All right, these are the two levels I'm watching on Starbucks. Walmart had a strong move yesterday, keeping an eye on this one. If this gets above the 150 psychological number, I'll be interested to kind of take this to the upside, see what it does. Very strong move yesterday, even though when the market pulled, this was kind of still strong, closed very strong. So keeping an eye on this. If there's weakness in the market and this decides to kind of stay strong again, it might have a good run today on the upside. Now, if it does get under that 49.30 level, which is essentially yesterday's pivot low again here, then I'm looking to take it to the downside. All right, now let's talk about how you guys can take these trades. I think no matter how many times I kind of explain this, there's always somebody who has a question about it. So I'm gonna talk about it right here. Okay, I'm gonna put up the Starbucks chart. So a lot of people ask me, when do you take the trade? Do I take it right at trigger, or how should I take it? There's a few ways you can do it. All right, if obviously price action is pretty close to the trigger point at the open, and at the open we kind of penetrate through that level, and by at the open I mean in the first 5, 15, 20 minutes, then I take that trigger right there. Take that trigger right there and take advantage of the explosive move that will come following that, and that's the move I want to be involved in. All right, now if the trigger point is, for example, at 90.72, all right, and the price action kind of shoots up here and then drops all the way down, well, the issue with this now becomes the move is too extended to the downside. We went from 92 all the way to 90. It makes no sense to buy the trigger right here, right? This is just the same thing as chasing the trade. So you have to wait for consolidation and then maybe take the break right here at that trigger point. Okay, that's scenario number 2. Scenario number 3 is that if price action takes on, there's about an hour or two that passes and the stock kind of goes sideways, does its own thing, and it's slowly creeping up the trigger. Now the volume has died. It's around 11:30, 12 p.m. What you're really looking for at this point, if that's your trigger point, you need a breakout and a retest, okay? And this breakout here needs to happen on increasing volume, right? You need to have that increasing volume kind of come in. Now on the retest is when you want the decreasing volume, and then that is where you want to get involved right there on that retest to take advantage and move higher. Okay, so these are the things you got to pay attention to, guys. It's not concrete. There's lots of things you need to pay attention to. Does the breakout come? Great. Did the breakout happen on increased volume? Right? Amazing. Did the pullback happen on lighter volume, lighter relative volume? Right? Or was the pullback on more increasing volume, even higher than the breakout? Then that's an area of concern you got to pay attention to. Okay, so hopefully that kind of explains how you guys should take the trades. Now I'm going to jump into the chat. If you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat and I'll take a look at them. I think somebody mentioned PayPal earlier, so let's get right to that one. PayPal daily chart. So daily chart coming into that 50 moving average. This daily chart, I believe, is a bearish engulfing by just looking at it. Yes, it is a bearish engulfing candle. Usually it is a sign of weakness or continuation to the downside essentially. And I'd kind of be watching this one under the 118.60. I'm not going to try to buy calls here. If you think about it, you've gone from 94 all the way up to 121. So if you're buying calls here, what are you really doing? You're buying calls into resistance, into prior resistance, and if you're trying to swing this, then the meat of the move is done. So you really have to wait for a better setup to kind of get involved on this one. Hello all, first time here. I'm already subbed after watching a short you did. Awesome, top bids, appreciate it, man. Thank you, Nancy. How do I apply for any roles or jobs you may have to offer? I'm gonna have to get a developer automation. Shoot me a DM on Discord or Twitter. We'll talk a little bit more top vids. Looking to get puts on Tesla. All right, so We're gonna get puts on Tesla. Let's go ahead and look at Tesla. You didn't mention if you're trying to day trade this or swing trade this, but I'll take a look at the daily chart. So coming into this resistance area at this 119, an inside day here, looking to get puts on Tesla. If you're looking to day trade the puts today, you know, lots of price action here. It's getting kind of wonky on Tesla. You really need to wait, I think, for that 1900, 1090 or 1080 to break. If that breaks, then you can look to sell off to the 1070 and ultimately the 1056. Now, when the 1056 breaks is when it's really going to get interesting, because look at this. You have price action from 1018 and you have a pre-market jump up here, so you essentially have a gap. You have a gap from 1056 all the way down to 1018. The safe play would be to wait for the 1072 or wait for the 1056 and see how price action reacts to this. If you want to get involved a little early, you can see there's this very minimal support here from yesterday at the 1083. You can kind of take advantage of that move down, maybe take some off here, or wait for the bigger move if you have small size. All right, that is on Tesla. Can you use fib, please? How can you tell if it's going to go up or down? Is there anything we can look at the critical points? So it's all about levels. So once one level breaks to, you know, the upside, then you have to look at the next area of resistance. If you're not familiar with resistance and support areas, I suggest do a little basic video search on YouTube on, you know, how to figure out support and resistance areas, and just start from there. Once a support area breaks, then we go down to the next support. Once that support breaks, we go down to the next support. And the same thing with resistance. Once resistance breaks, we go up to the next resistance. That's just the very basics of it, and everyone should kind of really understand that and get used to these things when they're day trading. Puts day trade. Good morning, puts. Puts day trade on what? I'm not really following. You're saying puts day trade, but there's no ticker there. Looking to buy mullen for long term. Any pullback coming, hoping to sell covered calls once it increases its value. Mullen, M-U-L-N. I'm really not sure, you know, first of all, why this is even moving. It's a sub $10 stock, sub $5 stock. I don't really pay attention to. They're high risk, high trades. If you're looking to buy mullen for long term, have you looked at the financials? Do you even know what this company does? Or are you just going on the hype that, you know, social media and everybody else is kind of pumping this thing? If you understand the financials and you know what the company does, you got to ask yourself, why is it valued at $2, right? What's going on? Why has it gone from 16 all the way down to $2? What's the problem here? And if you still appreciate it and you want to, you know, get involved long term, start very small, because these things can very easily come back down to 70-60 cents. And then, you know, when they pop back up is when you want to do the covered calls. I don't think, if you don't own any shares here, it's not going to make sense for you to do covered calls at these levels. AFRM buy call. Let's take a look at AFRM. So AFRM, very similar look to the entire market essentially here, guys. You know, a move from the lows, coming into the moving averages, coming into the old resistance areas, putting in a topping candle here, increasing sell volume. If you're looking to buy calls, I mean, as a day trade, you really have to wait to get back above the 48.20 if you're looking to buy calls. At the moment, because of the selling pressure, clear double top right here. You know, technically under that 46.50, 46, you're going to see more sell-off to come here. After such a big move up, the stock might be trying to take a breather. It might try to pull back. So keep an eye on that 46.50 for a downside move. Or if you want to trade it to the upside, pay attention to this pivot from yesterday. That 48.20 level is going to be a level you're going to want to pay attention to for upside moves. Then you can take advantage for that push to the 50.30 level if it gets over the 48.20. Can you please check LGVN? There's a catalyst phase 1 trial looking for long average holding bag 13. Oh man, you guys who trade these low float garbage really just scare the shit out of me. I just don't understand why people want to trade this shit. Alright, so LGVN. The news is what? Let me go look at this news. LGVN. Jesus Christ. Wait, I think I know what the news is. Give me 1 second. LGVN announces the publication of phase 1 trial results on patients with mid-Alzheimer's disease. Okay. First of all, Alzheimer's has been a disease that every company has gone broke trying to figure it out. Okay. I'm not trying to be negative towards the disease or anything like that, but I'm just saying it's a very hard disease to try to find medications for, and every company, even BIIB, I think is one of them, has had a very hard time trying to come up with a solution for this problem. Okay, let's take a look. This is one of the biggest companies, Biogen, that continuously has been trying to get Alzheimer's drugs approved and whatnot, and it just, every time it gets that news, it pops off. Look at this. We got this news a few months ago and the thing just tanked. Okay, LGVN, unless you've done your research and understand what these guys do, I very highly doubt that these guys are going to be the one that do it, especially not knowing what their cash on hand is and what's really going on the back end. Announcing a publication of phase 1 trial doesn't mean the company is going to do very well. Okay, they are announcing that they have, their phase 1 trial results. Phase 1 means nothing. You have many more phases to go through. And where this really fails is near the end, right? All this stuff it doesn't mean anything until it gets to the hand of the FDA and until we have trial results, and that's where these medications and these drugs fail, is at the trial level. So phase 1 is just one part of a very big spectrum of things. If you guys are trading bios, you really need to understand what FDA does, what the trials mean, what all this stuff means. Don't just buy it based on the first day's news. Just really be careful with names like this. Good morning. Is Apple going to break all-time highs this week for calls? So is Apple going to break all-time highs? If you guys have been following me in the last year, I've always talked about how Apple respects the 200 moving average. Okay, I've always said if you guys are looking to buy, a position in Apple long term, or any company that is fundamentally sound, start at the 200 moving average. Right? Look at this. Bam. Look at this. Bam. Bam. Came close to it, not too long ago. Right there and right there. Okay, so This has made a significant move from the 200 moving average all the way to the highs here. This is in regards just following the SPY essentially. All right, and this move up here is very extended. Will it hit all-time highs? It very well could, but it needs the market's support behind it. It needs to stay above this 177. Is it going to hit it this week? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt this is going to push up to the 183 level. Again, like I said, the market needs to pull back, consolidate a little bit before taking that next plunge higher. So in the moment, maybe not this week. If market remains strong, possibly next week. So if you do have calls, you really have to pay attention to what's going to happen today and tomorrow, and either roll it or continue, get a further out expiry. Unless your expiry is tomorrow, at which point then you're kind of screwed. But hopefully you're positioned a little bit better there. Yes, if you guys are still here, go ahead and smash the like button. I appreciate it. Foolish snowboarder, the rant is about to come. Meme stocks are super risky. Thanks for the info, no problem. We know one kind of bio yesterday. Yeah, exactly, legit. Unfortunately, that was another bio that really just, it's hard. It's hard for these bio companies to stay afloat. The drugs are hard to get FDA approvals. The cash on hand is very hard to stay afloat, so these companies are always cash deficit. Looking at NEO for a put swing. NEO put swing, the hammer looks bearish. If we can get back under the 20 moving average, then you can try to swing the puts, but really where it really opens up is under the 1930. If it gets under the 1930, then you can look to try to take the swings down to the 1569 level. But over here you have support at the 2020, you have support at 2050, you have support at 1960. So to buy kind of puts here just because doesn't really make sense. You need some sort of a bearish pattern to get involved on the put side. Dell swing for April 14th. Airlines have done pretty good with the idea of, you know, kind of COVID going away and what's going on in Europe. Kind of, I guess they're trying to have peace talks and whatnot. I haven't really followed that in the last few days, but with calls here on Dell, I would really wait to get back above the 200 moving average. It is in a little gap here on the daily. Could come down to the 38.57. Again, I don't like just swinging things just because you need some sort of a pattern, whether it's a bull flag, a double bottom reversal, something that's going to give you that boost on the daily chart that's going to give you momentum to push. Right now we are into resistance. 200 moving average is that resistance area. Some resistance at 39.30. So you need to at least get back above the 200 moving average if you're looking to kind of push higher. The last time it got above the 200 moving average, it pushed up to the next resistance point. So hopefully if it does it again, then you can kind of try to look for some calls. Next one is Hood. Let's take a look at Hood before I get off here. So Hood, inside day here. Keeping an eye on this one. Actually, I think under that 1450 level should see a nice sell-off. Nice strong push yesterday, but it's slowly kind of coming downwards. And the more it comes down, the more people who chased it up here are going to start selling. So under the 1450, you'd see some sell-off. But if this pops back up to that 1520 level, which is yesterday's highs, it could pop back up at least to the 1620. So a few levels to pay attention to: 1450 on the downside, 1520 to the upside, and you can kind of choose your direction of which way you want to trade it at that point. All right, thank you guys all for tuning in. Just remember, every Thursday I do go live right here on YouTube. If you guys have questions and I missed it, go ahead and shoot me a DM on Twitter or Discord. If you guys are still here, thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and smash that like button. As always, if you guys have questions, let me know, man. I'm always here to help you guys out. And yeah, make sure you guys trade safe, have a plan, respect your stops. Like I've always said,